Bitcoin has achieved something that in the past has always indicated that we are in a bull market. Software company Starkware completed the first BTC transaction protected against a quantum attack. REVOLUT, which unlike Binance received a license to provide crypto services in the European Union, launched a new crypto product, while Solana continues its impressive performance as most major altcoins appear to be catching their breath following their powerful rally over the past few days. I'm Dimitar, you're watching Crypto Potato, and in today's episode we'll discuss all these interesting topics. As you know, we've been creating daily videos covering the latest news and everything interesting from the crypto world for over a year and a half now. So if that interests you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also hit the like button and leave a comment. It's completely free and helps us enormously. Following several turbulent days, the crypto market has calmed down slightly. Bitcoin's price has not recorded any major movements today and is trading just below $79,000. Ethereum is holding around $2,500, while altcoins such as XRP and BNB are consolidating at $1.40 and $705, respectively. One of today's stronger performances is Solana, which has gained 6% over the past 24 hours. We'll take a closer look at it toward the end of the video. Pump, Gram, Memecore, Sui and Aave are among the cryptocurrencies trading in the red today. The sector's total market capitalization currently stands at approximately $2.75 trillion. We begin the main part of today's episode with Bitcoin and a technical signal that, according to popular analyst Psychedelic, casts serious doubt on the theory that the latest price increase is merely another pump within a bear market. We're talking about the Relative Strength Index, better known as the RSI, which measures the speed and magnitude of price movements. On the daily chart, the indicator recently crossed above 85, an extremely high reading that usually suggests an asset is heavily overbought. At first glance, this may sound like a warning that a correction is approaching, but Bitcoin's historical data paints a far more interesting picture. Over the past decade, every occasion on which the daily RSI has moved above 85 has fallen into one of two categories. It has either marked the beginning of a powerful uptrend or appeared when Bitcoin was already close to the top of such an extended rally. The key point is that this reading has never previously appeared during a genuine bear market. According to the analysis, this applies to Bitcoin's entire price history, including its earliest years when one coin was worth only around $10. Since BTC remains well below its all-time high, the analyst believes the second scenario looks less likely. His conclusion is that the current move is more likely to mark the beginning of a new and larger uptrend than a temporary jump before another crash. Of course, historical performance does not guarantee what will happen this time. The current situation could become the first occasion in Bitcoin's history when such a signal appears during a bear market. However, the analyst doubts that we're about to witness such a precedent. Quantum attacks are becoming an increasingly discussed topic in the crypto world. The reason is that a sufficiently powerful quantum computer could theoretically break the cryptography protecting wallets on networks such as Bitcoin. No such machine currently exists, but developers clearly do not want to wait for one to appear before they begin searching for a solution. And this brings us to a historic milestone. Software company Starkware announced that the first transaction designed to withstand an attack from a functioning quantum computer had been confirmed on the Bitcoin mainnet. Most interestingly, it was completed without requiring any changes to the protocol, a hard fork or a soft fork. The problem is that Bitcoin's security relies on elliptic curve cryptography. When users send coins, their public keys are revealed. This does not pose a danger today because ordinary computers cannot use a public key to calculate the corresponding private key. However, a sufficiently powerful quantum machine could theoretically do exactly that and steal the funds while the transaction is still awaiting confirmation. The new method, called Quantum Safe Bitcoin, adds a second layer of protection based on hash functions which are not vulnerable in the same way. The required computational work is performed off-chain before the transaction is broadcast. At this stage, the process costs several $100s and the transaction cannot pass through the standard meme pool. For that reason, it was submitted directly to a miner through the Mara Slipstream service. It is important to clarify that this does not make Bitcoin as a whole quantum safe. The method protects specifically created outputs and cannot automatically save addresses whose public keys have already been exposed. Starkware also believes that a soft fork remains the better long-term solution. Nevertheless, the test proves something important. Bitcoin has at least a temporary protective mechanism that can be used before the community reaches an agreement on a larger protocol upgrade. Moving on to REVOLUT, which is taking another major step toward transforming itself from a simple payments app into a complete platform for traditional and digital finance. The company has begun the gradual rollout of its first euro-backed stablecoin called EURR. As its name suggests, it is designed to maintain a value of exactly €1. Unlike Bitcoin and other volatile cryptocurrencies, its price should not rise or fall significantly. The idea is to allow users to transfer value across blockchain networks without leaving the euro or taking on the cryptocurrency risk associated with dollar-backed stablecoins such as USDT and USDC. The stablecoin will initially be available only to selected users in Denmark, Poland and Portugal. However, REVOLUT plans to expand the product into other countries across the European Economic Area later this year. The token operates on the Ethereum and Polygon networks and will be integrated directly into Revolut's main app and the Revolut X platform. Users will be able to hold and exchange it and transfer it to external crypto wallets once sufficient liquidity is available. However, there is one important clarification. Although the token carries Revolut's branding, it is actually issued by Bridge Building, a regulated company owned by payments giant Stripe. Every EURR must be backed by reserves and redeemable for €1. The product also complies with the European Union's MiCA regulations. The stablecoin market has already surpassed $300 billion, but almost the entire sector remains dominated by tokens pegged to the US dollar, while euro-backed alternatives remain relatively small. That is precisely where EURR's potential lies. Revolut has more than 80 million customers, including over 16 million users of its crypto services. If the product eventually reaches all of them, it could become one of the most accessible ways to use euros directly on-chain. We finish with Solana, whose price has climbed back above $100 following a 20% increase over the past week. Its resurgence is most likely the result of the broader positive conditions across the crypto market as well as growing interest from institutional investors. Spot Solana ETFs have recorded 7 consecutive days of net inflows, the first time this has happened since May. Whales have also renewed their appetite for the asset. Ex-user Sweep revealed that one such large investor had opened a long Solana position worth almost $15 million. Meanwhile, analytics platform Look On-Chain reported that an anonymous trader who had been out of the market for 2 years had returned by purchasing more than 95,000 SOL worth nearly $10 million. The consensus among analysts is that Solana could reach $120 or even $150 in the coming days. However, do not take these predictions for granted, as the asset could also become overheated. That could cool the current excitement and trigger a price correction. That's all for today, guys. Have a great and successful day and see you tomorrow.